Good afternoon. Jerome Powell of the Fed just concluded his press conference on Wednesday afternoon, May 3rd, following their meeting where they decided to raise the interest rate by 25 basis points. This is the Hexaco Space Force with your Wednesday market update. We're just going to jump right into it. First off, we got the Bitcoin chart. Since Monday, we've had about a 1% fluctuation up. We are sitting right above the 50-day moving average. Looking at the hourly chart, just normal fluctuations, nothing too outlandish here. Ethereum is more of the same. Daily fluctuations up about 2% for Ethereum, sitting just at the 50-day moving average. On the 1-hour chart, a little more fluctuations. We had a rise up to about the 1900 area and then back down to 1860s. Hex has had some trend reversal. It looks like Monday marked the end of a bit of a downturn. Since then, Hex has gone from flat 5 cents up to about 6 cents. And if you look at the 1-hour chart, you'll notice that there has been a good bit of a uptrend as well. Looking at the S&P 500, it is down about 3% since Monday. We had a big fall on Tuesday with a little bit of a recovery. And then the story of today was that it went up a little bit, and then Jerome Powell got up in front of the mic and dropped precipitously. Another big story of the week is the meme coin PEPE is actually up 353% right now. Not much to note there, just meme coins sometimes pump, and this one did. It reached a bit of a 5.8x from its lows of just fractions on fractions of a penny, and then it had a bit of a retracement down 31% and is now sitting where it is. The meme coins are so fractionally small that it's hard to really tell what they're doing. Looking at the crypto fear and greed index, we are now sitting at 64, which is a notable jump since yesterday at 55, and we started earlier this week at about 55 as well. We are higher than last week's of 59. And the big news of the day is the Fed meeting where they raised the interest rate to 5.25%. This is meeting levels that we haven't seen since 2007. I'm going to read the press release that was just covered by them. A big question is the First Republic Bank that went under earlier this week, and whether or not that was going to put pressure on Jerome Powell to actually go through with the anticipated interest raise. So, reading from the press release, the U.S. banking system is sound and resilient. Tighter credit conditions for households and businesses are likely to weigh on economic activity, hiring, and inflation. The extent of these effects remains uncertain. The committee remains highly attentive to inflation risks. The committee seeks to achieve maximum employment and inflation at the rate of 2% over the long run. In support of these goals, the committee decided to raise the target range for the federal funds rate from 5 to 5.25%. One of the things that Jerome Powell was harping on in the meeting was the first thing that he said when they got out there was that the U.S. banking system is strong and resilient. Very much a needed press statement from Jerome Powell at this time, considering that we've had an unprecedented amount of banks failing in the recent era, especially considering the current market conditions don't seem too catastrophic at this point. In other news, one of the reasons that Hex actually had a bit of a turnaround this week is that Richard Hart started tweeting about mainnet for Pulse Chain to launch. We had a tweet on May 2nd at about 10 in the morning here on the West Coast. When mainnet, and then he followed it up letter which said when it's ready, which is soon, when is soon, when it's ready. A lot of chatter on Twitter about Pulse Chain. Even the website itself is updating, saying it's closer than ever. And Richard Hart Win, the actual account name for him, has been trending along with mainnet, Epic 555, and Pulse Chain on Twitter. Getting to some memes for the day. This is really the synopsis of it right here, coming from Wall Street Bets. Jerome Powell trying to figure out no rate hike, soaring inflation, or increase it and put more banks into crisis. We'll see how this increase shakes out, but for now, it seems like everything has been anticipated and nothing has really deviated from the course. Not trying to dunk on Jim Cramer too much, but the memes always just come in. Earlier this morning, he tweeted, "Today the Fed is going to pivot and markets are going to have a rally like never before. I'm the most bullish I've been in decades." Well, Jim, you're as wrong as you've been of all time. Another one from cryptocurrency memes talking about the life as a trader. Every time I sell, it goes up. Every time I hodl, it stays sideways. And every time I buy, it drops hard. Finishing out memes of the week, we got the government coming in and trying to claim taxes however it can. All right, time to pay your taxes. No, I stopped trading money. I just use these bottle caps now. Well, that doesn't work. Those bottle caps are worthless. Good. Give me those bottle caps. IRS is going to do what the IRS does. Well, Federal Reserve is definitely making a splash on the markets. We can look that right as Jerome Powell started talking, the S&P 500 was about 412, and when he finished talking, it dropped about to 408. So clearly this is going to have some ripples in the market for the end of the week. I think that this is the predominant reason for the change in the greed and fear index for crypto, and there's going to be a lot of events that come out of this later on. As always, this is the Hexaco Space Force, and I will keep you updated with developments as they happen.